Hey Pokemon Masters, Birdkeeper Toby here, and I have travelled across every single region, and I told you about my top 10 favourite Pokemon from each, apart from one. So today's the day, and I'm going to tell you about my top 10 favourite Kalos Pokemon. Be sure to let me know your favourite Kalos Pokemon in the comments below, and let's get started. Number 10. My number 10 pick is Zygarde. Now, Zygarde feels like kind of a weird pick because compared to Yveltal, and Xerneas, Zygarde doesn't really do anything. I like this Pokemon for one reason alone. Hype. I am so hyped for the next games. And let's face it, at this point, I think it's pretty globally accepted that Zygarde will be the central cover of the next Pokemon game. No, it's not going to be Delta Emerald. The fact of the matter is the thing that got me into making Pokemon videos on YouTube in the first place is watching people like Tyranitar Tube and PD Winnow and watching them get hyped for the upcoming games. And that's what Zygarde's got me feeling right now. Very excited. Number 9. Gogo is my number 9 choice. It's an interesting design. I feel like it's a fairly classic Pokemon, a Pokemon based off an animal. It seems quite generic, but I like that. And yes, while certainly riding Skiddos and Go-Goats is very generic and forgettable, there's something nice about them just, trying new stuff. I love the idea of riding Go-Goat around a field. I think it actually looks pretty powerful as well. It's got that badass look. Something they've really aimed for in Gen 6, being able to soar, being able to ride Pokemon around like Gogo, it's the kind of thing that really immerses you in the game, and so I'm really happy for this new Pokemon. Is that the right words? I'm really happy for it. Well done, Gogo. Good for you, Gogo. I'm so happy for you, mate. Side note, I just love the idea of someone throwing a Pokeball. Go! Go, goats! Number 8. Now, my number 8 guy on this list is so adorable. It's Inkay. Move aside, Malamar, you are creepy. But Inkay is adorable. I love the uniqueness about this Pokemon. I love how you have to evolve it. I love the typing about it. It's an adorable little Pokemon that I've used in one of my adventures, and I have not evolved mine because it's just too cute. And I'm just throwing this one out there, but Inkay to feature in Splatoon, anyone? Number 7. Tyron. Okay, let's add another thing onto the list of things that makes Toby a 90s boy-child stereotype. Game Boy Color with a copy of Pokemon? Check. The Red Range is the best one? Check. I like dinosaurs? Check. I hope kids these days are still liking dinosaurs with Jurassic World. I want to see the Jurassic World version where Tyrant's in it, And I know you're thinking, what about Tyrantum? I'm going to get to that in a little bit, but Tyron has a certain cuteness about it. It got me very excited that I could have a dragon Pokemon this early on in my adventure. Seriously, you have him before like the second gym, and he looks cool. Dragon, cool. Dinosaur, cool. Cool, cool. That's the word to describe this Pokemon. Number 6. Number 6 is also a dragon Pokemon of the Kalos region, Sliggoo. Sliggoo. I just love saying that word. It's got such a cool name. And yeah, don't get me wrong, I loved Goomy and I love Goodra just as much, but Sliggoo's the one in the center. It's the main one that I think about because it's just so unique as a Pokemon. It's like, make Makago a pink dragon? I mean, what a cool idea. Generally speaking, dragons do look like Tyron, or they look like, Dragonite. They're dragons, they're dragon-shaped, but Sliggoo is such an awesome idea. Don't get me wrong, I am probably a Gen 1er, but I definitely don't hold up the argument that all the Gen 1 designs are the best. This is the kind of thing that proves that Pokemon has still got it going on. A snail dragon! I gotta say, Ash Ketchum is quite the fool for getting rid of his. Number 5. Gotta love me some Hooper. Hooper is one that has completely grown on me. Again, because of all the upcoming news update videos that I've seen on YouTube, Hooper is one that's just really exciting. It's like, oh, what's coming next about this Pokemon? And now, pretty much all the stuff about Hooper is out, apart from an actual release in Europe, so I'd like that soon, please, Nintendo. But the Mischief Genie Pokemon, and he's got rings, and I mean, that's interesting enough as it is, and it's cool. And then he's got his Unbound form, which when I first saw it, I thought it was a fake Pokemon. I was like, no way, Pokemon they don't look that dark or anything. Just as Pokemon Go, this is one I really like the design of, but the thing that makes me love this Pokemon the most is because I did a whole video about it, and this isn't me plugging the video, this is me just saying that I just had so much fun researching Hooper, researching the idea that a creature could make wormholes and that kind of thing. I had so much fun in, I guess, a more unconventional way of investigating Pokemon. I love Hooper now, it's awesome. Number 4, So for my number 4 pick is Talonflame, and before you guys are like, oh, of course you like Talonflame, actually, I'm not that much of a competitive battler. You could say Brave Bird Propriety just sort of goes over my head. Oh, that's bad. What I love about Talonflame is actually, I think a little less conventional, is that I would use it for breeding Pokemon. Not that I breed it with every Pokemon, just in my party. It knows Flame Body and it knows Fly, which in X and Y is really convenient. In fact, I didn't use a Talonflame in my journey at all because I don't think Fletchling looks that good. I think it looks a little bit boring. But what I found is that in the post-game, I spent hours and hours with this Pokemon in my party. I eventually realized, man, this Pokemon's been on my team probably longer than any other Pokemon. How cool. It may have also been there when I very luckily hatched a shiny Froakie. That was pretty cool. Number 3. Speaking of which, number 3 is Greninja, which is a Pokemon that I love for competitive play reasons. Protean is awesome. Greninja, while maybe a little bit frail, you just give it a Focus Sash and it gets a stab on every move it uses. When the Kalos region was first announced, I was like, oh, I'm not sure about that chest spin. Yeah, Froakie, maybe. And then Fennekin was the one I was going to go for. Except then they announced the evolutions and I immediately jumped ship. Now, first of all, and I'm just putting it out there, I'm not a huge fan of Delphox. Don't get offended, just let me know your favourite Kalos Pokemon in the comments. What I do love though is Greninja. I just think it's got an awesome design. I'm so happy it was the one to end up in Smash Bros. I gotta say, I think it's probably the fan favourite. I'm assuming I was right. Then again, I thought I was the one with the popular opinion about Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, never mind. But I've only played through X and Y twice, and the first time, of course, I used Froakie and I got a Greninja, and then that shiny Froakie hatched earlier, so I used that in my second run through. So I just have a Greninja and a shiny Greninja. They're both really awesome. Number 2. Hawlucha, Hawluchamp. Hey. Simply put, this Pokemon is fun to use. I have an amazing set that I like to use with this Pokemon, which his moves and ability complement perfectly. He has the ability Unburden, which means if he uses the item, his speed is doubled. You give him a Power Herb and use Sky Uppercut. Power Herb will be removed from the Pokemon and immediately allow you to use the powerful Sky Uppercut. So with no item now, your speed is doubled, and then you use Acrobatics, which also gets a power boost when you have no item. It's just one of those Pokemon where I feel like they really thought about how you would use this Pokemon, and you can just in sync use its moves, its ability, items, just so perfectly. And its shiny looks darn cool too. What's not to love? Number 1. And my number 1 top pick in the Kalos region is, if you remembered from earlier, Tyrantum. Really? Tyron and Tyrantum on one list? Can't they just go in one slot? Well, the thing is, I love them for very different reasons. Tyron is cool, as I said earlier, and it looks kind of cute. Tyrantum is more than cool, it's awesome, and it's majestic. There's something about that beard and that crown that makes you realize that he is the ancient king of the Pokemon world. He's powerful, he's dragon, he's got an amazing set of crunching moves. That strong jaw though, you can just really imagine him just like crunching into his opponents with Fire Fang, Ice Fang, Thunder Fang. And to be honest, he is generically the kind of Pokemon I'm into. I mean, both Crocodile and Garchomp rank pretty highly on my other Pokemon lists. So there you have it, my top 10 Kalos Pokemon. But if you want to check out those other lists, there's now a whole playlist from Kanto through to Kalos available on my channel. There's only one more top 10 favorite Pokemon list to go, which is the Megas, and that will be coming to you shortly. Get excited. So go check out the playlists and leave a comment of your favorite 10 Pokemon of each region, and together, you know, I'm going to read all those comments and check them out. And I'll see you very, very soon.
This is Ash Ketchum. You just watched a video by Birdkeeper Toby. That makes you a Pokemon Master!